Now saying trend about air course between clients and photographers say client and say our nice shape, but client name who na down for be picture and I'm down for ne two ne move for ne hips pp or no soon him say onibi. Now so na client ha editor and say mama hip mama nufu. Now me can editor is aiming here. Ucha model be maybe an hips no anane tunu anane nufu no pese ode kakra ka ho a me be kire o se ne ye Photoshop onye mane nchen so bebre editors ne bi wo ho a omo ya no mama nchen so bebre to go say starter no me dia manipa no eni nanim entally enti ene tutorial no ye be hwese ne ye adjust nipa ne starter kakra Photoshop e mane look natural nanso na reality no and yes anote. My name is KOFI Pope from Atelier KOFI Pope, and I'm back with another Photoshop tutorial. Without wasting much time, let's jump to Photoshop and start today's lesson.
Darling, be computer ni chassis.
This is here about Photoshop. Tool Photoshop. I dey say juman liquify. You be duplicate your layer no. You duplicate your layer na ni name no. Work with this. Now for layer now duplicating now here and work with this one. Why you a smart object into uber right click it no about convert to smart object into convert it to smart object no about filter no about liquify into a baby panel way amount into see no your inside of liquified workspace into usha liquified usha so liquified and like the name goes, liquify. It is just like a liquid. Whatever you do here, no, just have the concept in your mind. Say you are moving a liquid. Your image turn into a liquid form. You see, no, the meme about me image now liquefied no. Ebe different from all the now be. Ebi a meme image na me ye ho adwuma no. Ebi a netrim we enye round ana nani eson ana nenufusa. But ebi a wo de na wo ye ho adwuma no nenufu so normal amount niti around normal amount eno nkire say de me be ye wo me image ne ho no awose wo so ye the same thing wo image no eno ntina me pese me kire the tools in the liquefied panel and the settings in the liquefied panel senior you know how to go by things in liquefied push it to side or left side the can a forward warp tool no yeah they movie the edges of the image inside or outside and a forward warp tool no inside or outside into two-way na mostly no you use edema the image no to yakese anaketwa anane nufu yakese anaketwa over second one na a reconstruct tool. Reconstruct tool is more or less like undo, but bit by bit. Into to say we apply forward come no. Select reconstruct tool now. Select reconstruct tool now. Now the first one na EPA nkakra. Into that's basically what the reconstruct tool does. Over next one na a smooth tool. A smooth tool to say the way you use forward warp tool no o no more and smooth you can use the smooth tool to brush it over to make it smooth to overfast over and over again to make it smooth the more offers na smooth but opese offers once na smooth per kwa obeba rate no increase your rate no 100 when increase your density so called 100 nti no ofaswa mami sa emiankom na ehwade because rate any density 100 no ofaswa na correct no the next tool twirl clockwise the so you say turn any part of your image na obe brush no clockwise ocean asono kra na ebi anana sono accord out too much you can use to align it a little The next two no a puka two. Puka two no yedema some part in your image no smaller. Into to say be an nason me person nason is smaller. Once that nason any the edge of the image. Into yen use to forward warp tool. It's say inside the face into no. You be use to puka tool no. Now they are making it smaller. Into so not a making it smaller. That's the same way. The next tool is the bloat tool. The opposite of the puka tool, and also making it bigger. It is smaller and bigger. Into two-way, the puka and the bloat tool are good for making breast bigger or smaller and eyes bigger or smaller in liquify. Into and also the next two a push left tool. Into no juma edini. And I don't think you even use the push left tool. The next tool is the freeze tool, which is one of the important tools. Freeze tool here, ebia opese o enlarge ne hune no, but pese ebe affect nano no. Enti no, ubetimi a brush ewo nano no so. O brush wa nano no so anafe wa be select or forward warp tool no to move the nose. Eba say no matter how you move the nose, it won't affect the mouth. Enti no. The next one a foul mask too. Na and so with the paper baby I freeze here no. With the paper baby I freeze here. We won't see a train no, but affected no. It's say you freeze no. Say you freeze no na use forward warp no. At the train ne na in a way no a bit affected no. It the American well who say you use warp tool no forward warp tool no ye freezing no the ni nti freeze tool no very important our liquify just most of us don't use it nti that is what the freeze tool does. And the next tool is the face tool. Face tool no and Photoshop ankasa detect we image no ohu face over right side hanomwa a groupie all the parts of the face in different sliders. A big groupie eyes over one side, na groupie nose over one side, a groupie mouth over one side, many face shapes so over one side. Into movie or sliders na. This is about eyes na movie or slider na. Abema effect no but because image we am dey chire with tools no. Photoshop in detective face into no. And into na sliders na ewa ha ni nyina enye adwuma. Into image now we use no so Photoshop a detective face all these things will be open, and when you move the sliders you know the effect it is having on your image. Next tool no a hand tool to move the image around when you zoom in. Into zoom here we use hand tool to move the image around. And the next one also the zoom tool, and when you zoom in. These are the tools we will be using in Liquify. And now over right hand side no so properties in the side no the here pa brush two options. Brush two options. First slider no or brush size. Into no brush size. And first slider no. And second slider no pressure. Or the pressure no to 0. This is what happens. So pressure need at 0. I was a movie or brush no several times answer we effect no. But the pressure need 100. Movie or brush no once effect no. Into pressure no so over density no so and also I work it is a pressure no. Rate no enye tools ni nyina na rate ni ye adwuma. Enti no we select tool no na rate ni ye adwuma ebeba it is reconstruct any smooth tool no, and also rate here how fast you want it to be. How fast you want it to be. Basically this is all the tools and settings you'll be using in Liquify. And over down here you will show backdrop and you will reconstruct is more or less like the opacity in Liquify, and now undo and redo in Liquify. and a restore or a overall undo. These are the most tools and settings we will be using in Liquify. So as time goes on in our creative life in Photoshop, if the need come for us to use this side of Liquify, that and also make a tutorial on that and explain into details how that one works. So now understanding the tools, let's move straight to how I'll adjust this image in Liquify. Pictures me anyway na me dey be kire o. The di kan ye be use picture we. Na ansa na ye be ye said man the person make can say me nti aya to dey be aye edit picture. Yema obi nufu ana obi eto ana obi afru eye kese ana keto an enkyere se emfata ne body no. Ye nti a to dey be aye sa ne say esan concept na wu twa no ebi ase nipa na fru so a concept na we twa no ene na fru na so no emfa per the concept na photographer na twa no ebi ana sa body type no emfa the concept no enu nti na ye to de bi a ye na kese no ana nketwa se ye tesa addition we ase a ebema sometimes send ye be too much no ye better so we are not creating the person again, but we are correcting one or two errors to match the concept in which the image was shot. Enti yen se mrede di kan no, se ne de bi eye no no, ye be duplicate ye layer no. Ye duplicate ye layer na ne name no. Work with this. Na fe layer now duplicating now ye no work with this. Why ye a smart object into uber right click it no about convert to smart object. Enti u convert it to smart object. No about filter, no about liquify. Nti ebebie panel way ama. Enti uhwe image na da so na de di kan ni trim we no uhwe ni trim we na enye perfect round emma. But per the concept no me person ni trim we ni eye perfect round. Nti de me ne say me select forward warp tool no. Na fe ni trim we baby a atotom ni nyina. Ne mama ho apie nkakra. Nti eno na me use forward warp tool no the iron nti uye ni nyina no wo a picture of how you want the image should be ewo trim. You don't just pick the liquify and start moving things around. You should have a clear picture on how you want the whole thing to be. Nti no this year ni trim ni ye okay mami se me pese me ma a year more even na me share this side me peja this side so kakra. Me peja this side so kakra. Ana oh yeah, ube push no in kakra to uye we are ube use smooth tool no. Edi adjust roundness no and now smoothness no. Inti me the smooth tool no ebefa edges no. Sene ebema na ye round amame into usha before after. Little things make big difference in Photoshop. Enti sa we na effect na enkyere se ko off board na ye ni too much ba ye ni kakra. Enti me wie ni trim bi meba nachi so me align ne kakra. Me select forward warp no ne ma align nachi ne kakra. And also essence me use forward warp tool no menje smoothness ni ndi no me send the smoothness no afaso in order to correct baby and smoothie out here. Nti me the smooth tool no so befa edges no my no so share before and after enye back. Na fe masan select forward warp no my lower brush no na fe ma adjust shoulder hanum. Okay sisi a me banatare no so a ase this side apie na eno so maka ashem eno so in order to get a nice edge me select smooth tool no na eno so me dia faso in order to get a smooth edge. Baby, I made this so fun. I think it's okay to share me before and after. Until last thing I made before say me free aha no meba reconstruction obeba down kra no aba reconstruction me advice you say obeye wo amount between 80 and 90 nti meye no 80 secret e wo say ema e looking natural ema ni too much of your new changes na ema ni like the previous one. It creates a balance between what you have done. We are nowhere near okay. Then we have it into Usha your before and after. And yet big changes there, but are creating a lot of difference. Ayana Ebibisa said, should we do liquefied before our retouch or we should do liquefied after our retouch? Advice member on is kamepe se ubedi kan aye liquefy no answer why a retouch no body ni baby a ube enlarging a software ni ye use no eto de bia a leave trace but unkita that eni na odi be hu se a leave trace no enti me advice we say ubedi kan aye liquefy no answer why add o retouch no send your retouch and any color grading any or other effect will hide whatever traces your liquefied will leave. Into yanko second image no so. Into the see ayaba your second image no so. We share image from the workspace any problem there, but because of the concept you have as a photographer or as an editor no, and winti nebema wa attempt to say ubeye changes be ever body no ho ana atare no nti de edi kan no me create duplicate layer me create duplicate na no rename no aye work with this nti you create duplicate layer near you work with this now near right click near convert it to smart object. Smart objects Photoshop are very useful. May a whole tutorial on smart object. Nema explaining into details how the smart object work. Until for now, no, you will create smart object. You create smart object near bar filter near called liquify. To see how in the interface of liquify, you best select your first two no, your friend forward warp two no. The di kan me yene atare no ho adwuma kakra. Enti baby a apie too much no. Mekika ahyem kakra. Na maba ne hip no so. Uhwe image na ne hip no enhye da ennim bebre. Enti match me concept no. Enti mema ne hip no apie kakra. Na me use smooth tool no e dey afa edges no sani ebe my smooth and round edge. The smooth tool no e dey befa edges no na fe na tare on side also the smooth tool na fa edges no kakra na aye okay me hwe ne nsa ha no so a asa ne nsa ha apie kakra nti me select forward warp no na me reduce size no na fe me den nsa no akom ma sen use smooth tool no nso me reduce size na me afa nsa ho tene ebe smooth no me hwe na nim ha no so asa ne jaw no apie too much tene so me use jaw na apie too much tene so me use forward warp tool no na nso me dey akom kakra. May use smooth tool no and the far edges no to get a smooth edge. To share before after. The hips remember the hips no apie kakra aka ho. Na fe mama what I am doing on my image now will be totally different from what you will do to your image. The me me image no sisi ano ebe different from the also your image no. because send a mimi try me image and yes I will try image no and a concept na me gina so am dey yes I na we no and yet that same concept na be I also gina so out there but for the tutorial sake and until ye use me image no send ye obete ase enti no ne nufu ne side yo no mama ne nufu no aye kese kakra nti me person ne nufu ne kese kakra baby an nufu ne hye no ye ntumi use forward warp tool nti ye be use bloat tool no ema appear to be big nti ye use bloat tool na this is how the bloat tool is. Bloat tool ema appear bigger. The jaw no so looky too big mame nti eno so me pese ekomu kakra eno so it is not from the edges nti yentimi use forward warp tool nti eno so ye be use puka tool no ni ma be brush ni mu kakra na fe emia kakra nti we share before and after nti ninsano me use warp tool so far I think I am okay with the changes before and after. Before say me okay remember reconstruct na fi my 80% me okay to share before after. Don't force yourself to use the Liquify tool when you don't have any reason to use it. Sometimes nipa neto some crap and we still want to use the Liquify tool to make it big again. No. Sometimes nipa no a body part ni be crass now it doesn't tally with your concept. You can use the same Liquify tool to make it smaller. Now ma bibia I fine. Inti ene aha ne de ye Photoshop additional ebesi. Inti message say unsubscribe here. Obe subscribe send anytime be me post video no ubenya notification no wa join the class na ye nyina yesua de o subscribe we so no wa like no wa share enti ene aha ne de ya desua e wo Photoshop ebesi ti send de bia me kan Photoshop is fun, no cause for alarm. See you in our next tutorial.